Hey everyone, this is J-Dog and I'm here with another video. Of course y'all know what this website is, but for those who don't, this is the infamous Critic website, Rotten Tomatoes. This is where critics and even everyday movie or television viewers will go and put down their ratings and reviews of what they felt about certain movies and shows, and then you will get numbers like these. These are approval ratings. These approval ratings are based off of how many people who have accounts, critic or just an everyday television watcher or moviegoer would put down their ratings of anywhere scale of 0 to 5 stars, and maybe comments, talk about what they felt about a certain movie or show, and then based off of how many people that actually went. Well, most of these are from critics, after professional critics, after people put up their reviews. Depends on how much approval rating, the percentage does a movie get, and that determines if a movie or show is fresh, meaning that the movie was positively approved, or rotten, which means a film or show was negatively viewed by critics or viewers or etc. And a rule is any movie from critics, any movie with an approval rating, and hold on, let me give you an example of what's going on. I'm gonna put in a movie, or click on a movie. Let's just say the random movie. So you've noticed that this movie this is one of the recent new ones. This movie has an approval rating of 81%. Now, I guess because the movie is not out, it will not have an audience score. These are the different critics. A couple most approve of the film, a couple disapprove. They'll put down a splat, and a tomato, meaning a fresh, meaning they like the film. And then, of all the critics who reviewed the movie and put down a rating on this website, 81% approve of the film. I'm going to click on this. This is all critics. This is top critics, meaning just the top critics. And this is the score when it's all the critics. Let me find a movie that also has the audience score. Here, certified fresh because it's above 75. Alright, if a film is above 75, like that other movie, it's a certified fresh from critics, which is this. If it's a 74 to 60%, it's just a fresh. And if it's any 59% or lower, it's a rotten. Audience score, if it's 60 or above, it's a popcorn, a red bucket full of popcorn. If it's 59 or below from audience, which is the average everyday moviegoer like myself, I actually have an account, by the way. It has a green bucket with the popcorn is spilled. I think that I talked about it like years ago in my early days of my channel, where I talked about the critic score strategy of how that could help show our opinions about what we felt about certain films and shows, and how that could come in handy. Anyway, of course, this is certified audience. That's people who actually went to go see the movie. And this is even if you didn't see the movie, if you wanted to put a rating, you were considered all audience. Certified meaning you actually did go and watch the movie. But you're probably wondering, why am I talking about Rotten Tomatoes? Why am I talking about Rotten Tomatoes? J-Dog, This is probably what y'all who are viewers of my channel are saying. Why are you talking about Rotten Tomatoes? What's going on? What does that have to do with what's going on in the world and stuff? Well, first of all, I like movies. And every once in a while, you hear a story about what's going on that everyone has been talking about. Because a lot of people have been talking about a situation that's happened with Rotten Tomatoes. Now, you just saw a movie. Here is a movie. You see that critics love this movie. You see audience say they love this movie because of its approval ratings. But the question is, did these people who reviewed this movie love the film because they saw the film and they saw it for what it is and they loved the film? And they just said, okay, I'm going to give it a 5 stars because I just love the film. I watched the film. It was an awesome film. Or were they paid by these movie studios to give positive reviews to help their movie so that you can persuade people to see the movie because they're trying to either use the movie to spread an agenda, or they just want so many good reviews because that can help them get viewers to go see the movie so they can make money off of a movie. I ask these questions is because there's now an accusation for several different people that are indicating that some of these movie studios, actors, directors, producers, or these movie or television studios or media outlets that are now being accused of paying off critics to give positive reviews or even negative reviews of certain films. For positive reviews is they're paying critics to give positive reviews on their movies while also paying possibly there's this really that's not being talked about rumor that they're also paying critics to give negative reviews to another film that someone maybe whose movie is competing against and give that film a negative review. What I'm trying to say is that there's been briberies going on, evolving with what's going on with Rotten Tomatoes when it comes to different critics giving reviews to films. No, Rotten Tomatoes, the people that's giving reviews don't work for Rotten Tomatoes. These critics or just everyday people, they work for different magazines, and they just happen to be movie reviewers. And some of them are YouTubers that focus on movies and stuff, and they just happen to be popular enough to have their ratings and reviews be put into the tomato meter, which is for the professional critics. And then maybe someone is paying some average moviegoer to give a positive review so it can help boost up the audience score. So in other words, do some of these viewerships, do some of these approval ratings are really deserved? Or do some of these negative approval ratings are deserved? Or is just someone is paying people, or just someone who just wants to cause it? People is like, you hear about review bombing and stuff like that. Is someone being paid to review bomb to either help or hurt a movie? It's almost like, but yet these are the people that are accused of doing this are probably some of the same people that hate it when some people review bomb a film. But now you're hearing that these different studios, these who distribute these films or work on these films, is paying critics to give positive reviews to help boost up their movie's approval rating, and maybe also at the same time pay to give other movies a negative review to mess with their movies because they want those movies to fail. And one way to make them fail is by giving them so many negative reviews, it will persuade people to not go see that movie. I bet you that's what happened with Nate Parker's Birth of a Nation. Because I actually liked that movie. Where you had Nat Turner fight against the slave owners and stuff, but they tried to destroy that. They went after that movie, tried to destroy it. And we know the real reason why they went after that movie. Meanwhile, some of these movies I felt that they do not deserve the approval ratings that they got. I'm starting to think that some movies, they do not deserve the approval ratings that they got, like this Barbie and Bottoms and stuff like that. I think I didn't see these movies, but they didn't look good, but they got approval ratings. Now, okay, Barbie, to some people, because of how well it did in the box office, maybe it did deserve its approval ratings. But this movie is bombing in the box office. People are not going to see this movie, this Bottoms, and yet it got the approval ratings that it got. Did it really earn these approval ratings? If it earned those approval ratings, why is no one going to see that film? It has a budget of $11 million, but they've only made in the box office $6 million. That's not good. That means you're below the budget line. Your film is gonna bomb. But that tells you that it's because people don't want to see films like this. Like this Bottoms. People don't want to see that film. And some people are ignoring the 93% approval rating because they think that someone may have paid the critics to get as many critics paid to give it a positive review. That's what some people are saying. Why? Because of the accusations that Rotten Tomatoes, or just the critics. See, like I said, it may not be 100% Rotten Tomatoes. It may be is that the critics are getting paid to come to Rotten Tomatoes, set up an account, and then so that they'll be able to put their ratings and reviews on the site to help boost up the approval ratings. And this is why some people is like, I don't care about what the critics say. I'm going to see the movie because I personally like the movie. And you know what? That's exactly how you should feel when you go see a movie. When you go see a movie, it should be because you, the individual, wants to see that movie. Or you alone felt that the movie was good to you. You don't need to care about what other people thought about a movie. It should only be about what you felt about the movie. Did you like the movie? Did you not like the movie? That's the same way with television shows. That's the same way with music videos. That's the same way with video games. A website, a critic review should not be the one reason why you're influenced to go see a certain film or show, because you might end up going, okay, a critic likes a movie or show, then you get influenced, and then you watch the show, and then you are the one that feel like, this show is boring. How come that person likes that show? This show sucks. Or this movie sucks. Or that same critic will say, this movie is bad. This movie sucks. But then you decide to see it out of curiosity, and then you end up liking the movie. It's like, what are you talking about? This is actually a very good movie. I like the story. I like the characters. I like the plot. Why was this person? This guy was probably just some freaking hater that just don't like the movie for whatever personal reason. See, this is why some people are starting to not care about what critics say, or what a website, Rotten Tomatoes, or what are the approval ratings that's seen on Rotten Tomatoes. That's why people are starting to care less about what Rotten Tomatoes thinks or what the critics who go on Rotten Tomatoes thinks about the whether they like a movie or not. People are starting to like, if I want to go to a movie, it's because I want to go see a movie. They're not caring about what the critics think. And now this is going to make people care less about what the critics think or care less about what other people think. People are going to start doing the smart thing and just only decide what movies they want to see because they felt like a movie's good, or just avoid certain movies because they just might not feel like they want to see that particular movie, and they're not going to let some critic review influence them to either see a movie or not go see a movie, because now you're hearing accusations that some of these critics may be bought and paid for from the studios to try to help their movies out. But that's what people, I've seen a lot of videos, a lot of even sites are talking about this topic, this situation. That some of these studios are desperate to spread an agenda or try to help make a movie good or make a movie successful, that they're willing to help pay critics to try to give it as much positive reviews or negative reviews as much as possible for whatever reason. Which, by the way, if it turns out these accusations are true, shame on the critics for accepting the bribes, and shame on these studios, whether they be movie studios, television studios, for doing this to try to help save their movies. Because, you know, there's been a lot of box office bombs lately, so now some of these critics, some of these movie studios are desperate to try to save their films, and their studios try to make as much money off these films to save their studios and stuff. Because, you know, things like with the protests that's going on, the Hollywood strikes, the fact that some people are just not going to certain films because of the certain messaging and agendas, or because of the storylines, maybe the movies itself just suck, and that's why you're seeing a lot of box office bombs. It's because some people have just given up on Hollywood. And given up on the entertainment industry because it's not bringing good content. This is why a lot of people are going to social media or YouTube for better content. But that's all I have to say about this. Yeah, if it turns out that these accusations about critics being paid to give positive reviews, shame on them. And this makes people question some of these ratings, these approval ratings from these different films and these different shows. Are these legit ratings, or is someone was paid from a studio to, lead to the result of these ratings? The people are going to be more eerie about these critics and about this website, Rotten Tomatoes, as a result of what's been going on lately with these accusations. But that's all I have to say. That's all I know for sure. Maybe something might come up. But right now, this is all I have to say about the situation. I want to know what y'all think about the situation. Write down in the comments about what you think about the situation. Write down in the comment section what you think. Make sure you also hit that like button and subscribe. And also hit the notifications. Also share this video. That helps with my channel, and that puts more viewers into watching my videos. But that's all I have to say for now. This is J-Dog. Thank you for watching, and I hope to catch y'all in another video. Peace, everyone.